to hear the words spoken, "You do not have the right to remain silent." That terrible wound from which you saw Charlie Kirk's life's blood leaving his body was not the entry wound, but was an exit wound. And that is now proven beyond peradventure. Now that's important, because if that was the exit wound and the entry wound came from the other side, that means Tyler ain't the shooter. And it means that gun isn't the murder weapon. And you have to ask yourself, if they're lying about the shooter, if they're lying about the murder weapon, they're lying about the whole thing. It's obvious. They're trying to tell you a furry. My God, I never thought I'd live long enough to know what a furry was. And I now know more about furries than I ever wanted to know. A furry whose boyfriend, girlfriend is a trans, and who was found wandering on a roof, but didn't have a weapon, that was found in the woods. He's the patsy, all right. He may even believe that he was involved in it. He may have been told it was a Nicolas Cage movie. He may have been told anything, but he wasn't the shooter. And that weapon with the scope on wrong, such that it would have blown his eye out if he'd fired the shot from a Mauser, that wasn't the murder weapon. The murder weapon came from far more up close and personal may be a vital qualifier in the statement I have just made. Because it seems to me that who killed Charlie Kirk knew Charlie Kirk, and maybe knew him very well.
This week, George Galloway was detained under the Terrorism Act at Gatwick Airport. Held for 9 hours, his electronics seized, even his wife's Palestinian-coloured fingernails were scrutinised. This was a blatant act of political intimidation, part of the UK's increasingly draconian assault on anyone who speaks up for Palestine. It's not an isolated case. Investigative journalists like Asa Winstanley have had their homes raided. Richard Medhurst was detained and interrogated at Heathrow over his reporting. David Miller was also stopped under counter-terrorism powers after returning from Lebanon. Their real crime? Daring to expose the UK's role in Israel's genocide in Gaza.
Did you see that video? I think it came out yesterday or the day before, of the Israeli team, the soccer team, the football team, soccer as we call it in America, coming out of the field. All the fans turned around and turned their backs, and then the coach of the Italian team started screaming at them before the match, saying that they were butchers. And then, by the way, they proceeded to kick their ass. But, you know, it's just, I've never seen something like that in a sporting event where the athletes...
I've been in this cause for 50 years. Don't tell the wife, she thinks I'm 45. 50 years I've been in the Palestinian. Now, in the beginning, you could have fitted all of us into this studio. It's a big studio, but you could have fitted everybody in Britain that thought like me into this studio. Now it's everybody. Now, only the real knuckle draggers are continuing to support Netanyahu and Israel. And I don't believe it's ever going to change. It's no more...
But what can it lead to?
Confident moment.
Okay, but if it doesn't change and it continues and it just gets worse, until the United States says we've had enough, I don't see a change in terms of their behavior. Do you?
Your Congress is bought and paid for by the Israel lobby. Everybody knows that. They don't even make they don't even try and disguise it. There's people whose names I've never heard, from places I've never heard of, getting 7-figure sums from the Israel lobby. So bought and paid for.
Or becoming FBI directors or CIA directors.
Yes, quite. And so until that changes, you're right. It's going to be Israel and America against the world. But that's not a good place for America to be. Why would America want to be in that place for a country of 8 million people on the Mediterranean? How is that in your interests? If you really believe in making America great again, if you really believe in America first, eventually it's got to dawn on legislators, certainly has dawned already on their voters, that we have to stop digging deeper and deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole. And I believe that that will happen. I know America is not a perfect democracy. Nowhere is. But no government can forever fly in the face of the sincerely held opinion of its people. And I don't believe yours will either.
So you start with this angry character. You go, what's funny about that? Well, he's rude to people. Is he clever? He's sort of clever. Is he malicious? Yeah, but he's also got a conscience. So you're already mixing these things up. You know, he wants to hurt someone's feelings, but then he feels guilty, so maybe he shouldn't. You know, it's not Marvel. It's not someone who's always really good and someone who's always really bad. Everyone's a mixture of all those things. Bad people do good things sometimes, and good people do bad things sometimes.
To hear the words spoken by an armed policeman, his jacket off so you can gaze at his sidearm, that you are not under arrest, but you are not free to leave. To hear the words spoken, you do not have the right to remain silent. To hear the words spoken, that if you do not comply and cooperate and answer any and all of my questions, you will be automatically committing an offence under the Act. That's when I really knew that liberty in England, in Britain, in this once proud democratic country, a country that for many centuries boasted of the Magna Carta, many centuries boasted of its reasonableness, of its moderate nature, and castigated all others around the globe for falling short of our standards. That's when I knew that we as a country are in serious trouble. Fascism is on the march in the West, not dressed in swastikas, but in liberal garb. Under the cloak of liberalism, everything that liberalism said that it stood for is being abolished. Here in Britain, a 61-year-old woman, Sarah Wilkinson, admired and respected across the land, was raided and arrested by 12 police officers. 12! Some of them wearing balaclavas, for a tweet that she wrote some time ago defending the Palestinians from genocide. And in France, little Macron is going nap. Not only did he arrest the owner, founder of Telegram, Pavel Durov, having invited him to dinner at the Elysee in fine mafioso tradition, he's run rumble out of town, and he's playing footsie with Marine Le Pen, defying the result of his own general election, called by himself. And in Palestine, the killing goes on and on and on.